Hey, welcome back, Crushing It 2021. Welcome to day 18. So today we're going to talk about creating a neurofeedback for reward in your brain and how creating success habits helps make that happen. So we've talked a lot about how you need to move the needle, right? So you need to have your compelling future. You need to be able to map it out in detail. And when you move each one of those things or take an action somewhere, you're moving yourself forward. You can actually create a physiological, chemical, neurochemical feedback of dopamine inside of your brain that will actually create layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of a reward loop system that drives you to do more and more of the same behaviors. So let me give you an example. I am a list maker. I like to make lists and check things off. In fact, if I have a list and I do something that's not on the list, I'll go right on the list and check it off. And the reason that this is just that alone is so powerful is because you're moving the needle forward. And if you connect the I'm getting somewhere with by checking off that list. So I'm doing my task, I'm getting somewhere, I check it off, you actually get a release of dopamine. Even though the task may not be finished because you've checked it off, you release dopamine. And that release of dopamine creates this reward loop. It's part of the growth mindset. So let me see, I'm going to read in detail the scientific explanation so you can understand it without me just trying to explain it the way I do. So the goal here, or the principle behind this, is to trigger dopamine and connect it to the pursuit of the goal or the reward. When you can do this, this is a game changer. When you tap into this subjectively, meaning when we choose what to link that dopamine release reward with, you can choose to release that dopamine. But a lot of people think that dopamine is just about the goal or the reward at the end, but it's really not. It's about every step of the way. Honestly, this is why drug addicts and alcoholics they get dopamine released all the way up and even before they, do their first whatever, because it's all in the pursuit of the reward that they're getting. So we get to choose what our minds focus on and what it attaches to that goal. When you attach that feeling of I've accomplished something to that pursuit, then you get that dopamine release. So we need to attach our dopamine release to the pursuit of the goal, the friction or the hard stuff. If we can say, okay, so this is really difficult. So we've been going through a lot of things during this process, right? And we've been doing hard things and we've been checking things off and getting things done. Well, just the process of doing that, even when it's hard, even when I had a big goal and something I had to overcome that was a big breakthrough, I get a dopamine release just from everything up to and doing the actual event. And if you can actually microdose it all along the way and then still get a big reward at the end, so that you program in doing hard stuff to create success. So you actually have more control over this than you realize. And it starts by making incremental movements and then doing them consistently. This is how you create the success habits. Let me finish reading this and I'll wrap it up. So you do the physical steps, make the needle move, create the reward circuit. And that's why I feel like it's important to start off with a morning routine. Well, it does more than that. A morning routine protects you, sets your mind up offensively and sets you up for the day. It doesn't put you in reactive mode. It puts you in actively being in control of your morning. So that's a start. Okay. So creating a morning routine of 1 to 5 things that you do every morning. It could be gratitude. It could be meditation. It could be breathing. It could be prayer. It could be sitting out in the sunshine. It could be sunshine. It could be yoga. It could be any handful of things that are essentially important to start a successful day. First of all, that's part of a morning routine. But then if you actually have a checklist for those things too, which I do, I check them off when I do them, then that starts creating that reward circuitry. Okay. I also have a morning bookend to my day where I do 4 things every morning. And I have a very loose evening checklist to bookend, which I really need to shore up that side. But every morning I do 4 things. I make my bed. I start a load of laundry. I clean up the kitchen, anything that's left in the kitchen that needs to be done, and I straighten up the living room. And I do that every day. And I get a reward. I get a dopamine dump. It makes me feel like I'm in control. I'm getting things accomplished before I get into my day. And that's on top of meditating that I do every day. And there's a couple of other things that I do in the morning to help set the tone for my day. The fact of the matter is, how you start your day is how the day goes. So getting a good morning routine, getting a little checklist, and all of those 4 things take take me at the max an hour, but really they don't ever take me an hour. I can give myself up an hour to do all 4 of those things, but it keeps my chaos down in my house because I work from home. So it's really important for me to keep the chaos down in my house and keep things under control and not get them piled up. If I miss a day of doing the dishes or the laundry or any of that stuff, you know what happens, right? So I just keep those under the control. Plus, I prefer and love getting into a made bed. There's nothing better to me than getting into a made bed. So making a bed every day is a success habit for me. But it doesn't really matter what these things are. It matters what's important to you. Let's take it now full circle to crushing it for 2021. Look at your map. Look at your compelling future. Look at your map. And every day, pick something that is going to move you forward to the goal. Be in pursuit of that and give yourself time to say, I did this today. And I think that's also where the checking off comes in. You just check it off. I did this today. Congratulations to me. I'm moving the needle forward. I'll give you another loose example. There's the idea of if you're going to run a marathon. I mean, obviously, if you never ran a marathon before, it's really hard to get out and run 28 miles today. But you might even be a couch potato. So just getting your tennis shoes on could be a problem. So it could be something as simple as today I'm going to put my tennis shoes by the front door. Tomorrow I'm going to put my tennis shoes on. The next day I'm going to put my tennis shoes on and walk down the block and back. Incremental steps towards the bigger goal. If you attach the reward of this is worth it, I'm getting somewhere, I'm accomplishing something, I've got my eye on the bigger goal, but I'm moving that needle forward, you can create a direct dopamine circuit loop that continues to perpetuate you wanting to do more and more things towards the success outcome of that goal or any goal. But in general, in your life, it sets up that circuitry for you to want to do the stuff, the hard stuff, the stuff that's going to move the needle. And lastly, I want to think of any time when you've been frustrated or overwhelmed or not knowing what to do or where to start. If you make one decision or do one thing, instantly everything feels better. One decision. Like, for example, maybe you're thinking your relationship isn't good and you've been struggling with it for a long time. Maybe you just make an appointment to see a therapist and all of a sudden you feel better. You get a little hope again, but you're moving that needle forward. Okay. So those are all things to think about. Now, what I want you to tell me below is do you have number one, do you have a morning routine? Number two, do you bookend your day with morning and evening routines? And number three, do you have a checklist of things that you do every morning and or every evening? If not, I recommend that you take any of these places and develop one. Develop just one to start with and you build on that. Don't ever try to do too much at one goal, right? So maybe just the morning routine, which is I'm going to wake up, I'm going to breathe, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to pray, and I'm going to be in gratitude. Start with that and check them off. And then maybe do a handful of, after doing that for a little while, maybe add a handful of household chores that you're going to do every day. But I think all of that's really good to start your day. It's important to create success habits through the day that create the dopamine loop is important. But I think it's even more important that you look at your goal, your big goal for the year. What is the one thing you want to accomplish more than anything else? What do you do every day to move that needle forward? And do you take the time to check it off and take a moment and look at it and say, I did that. I'm moving the needle forward. Or when it's hard, days are hard, you don't want to do it. Not only are you looking at your compelling future, but you're checking it off that you did a needle moving activity that makes you feel good. It gives you a dopamine release that allows you to continue. See, that dopamine allows you to continue for the long haul to be able to pursue that goal. So let me know your thoughts and comments about that. If you're seeing me here on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of these conversations. Invite your friends to check out what we're doing in Crushing It 2021. And if you're not in the Facebook group, let me know. The link is down below and I'd love to add you. All right, take care, everybody. Mwah.